Want better relationships with others? Start with yourself.
Hi, welcome to Stay in Your Lane. I'm Marty.
I'm Mark, and we're so glad you guys are here with us today. We decided on each episode we're going to give a shout out to a celebrity who's dealing with a sober journey. And today we're giving a shout out to Miley Cyrus.
Woohoo! Way to go, Miley Cyrus.
Yes, congrats on your sober journey.
Yes, today's episode is really, I think, exciting because we're talking about lowering expectations of a situation and also relationships. I know that in my therapy, my therapist had brought to my attention that when I talk about others in different scenarios that I've been in, he had pointed out that I really enter into those situations with a high expectation. And he suggested that I lower my expectation to get a better experience. And at first, I was thinking, is how can he say that, right? Because shouldn't we always be going into something expecting the highest return? And it doesn't work like that on relationships or
Oh, yeah, and I
situations.
think, the thing that resonates with me about lowering expectations, it doesn't mean that we don't have to have high expectations. I think we have to have realistic expectations. And I think sometimes we have unrealistic expectations going into an experience, and that's what causes the disappointment or the frustration or the anger. So it sounds like a simple thing to do, but I think it's a discipline to lower expectations whenever you're going into a situation.
It definitely is. And, just looking at our parents, and one of the examples that came up in my therapy was my relationship with my mom
Mm-hmm.
and how quickly I could get upset or disappointed in the things that she said or the situations that we were in together. And Ramesh, who's my therapist, he had pointed out that because I have such the um, false high expectations of looking at my mom like the television mom, like June Cleaver, and
Uh-huh.
that's all fantasy. That's not real. Your parents, my mom, they are just like you and I, and but they have the role of a parent, and that carries a lot of weight to it.
Oh, absolutely. And, I can speak not to myself, not being a parent. I don't know what that expectation is like. So, we are programmed from what we've seen and what we've been told. And I think we forget sometimes that our parents are humans. They're not superhuman.
That's so true because that was my thing. Is I was going into it already with this preconceived notion of what the reaction or response was supposed to be
Right.
from my parent, and when I didn't get that, I left that situation feeling um, that something was missing.
Right.
When in reality, if I had just gone into it, knowing that my mom is just another person doing her best.
Yes.
My dad is just my dad that is doing his best, right?
Correct.
And I think that the direct line, and we talk about this all the time, is um, kindness and understanding.
Right.
And just because your parents, I'm sorry, just because they're your parents doesn't mean that you don't have to have that same level of kindness and understanding for them.
Right.
It goes a long way.
It's compassion.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. When we think about lowering expectations, I think there's some things that we can all do to be kind to ourselves and be kinder to others. And the one that pops in my mind first is to let go of the whole notion of perfectionism. We've become a society that everyone's striving to be perfect, and that is not possible. So just do the best you can do in any situation that you're doing, and also realize that most people are doing the best they can do in the situation as well. So let go of that need to be perfect.
Absolutely.
Another one that comes to mind for me is, not comparing yourself to others. I constantly was benchmarking myself against the successes of other people.
It's easy to do.
It's easy to do, and just letting that go. Live your authentic journey. It is good enough, and you are worth doing that for yourself.
One of them that resonates for me is that we all enter in each of our days, and the pressure is on for us to be superhuman,
Yes.
right? And it's just unrealistic. even superheroes aren't always on. They take a break, they take a rest. They can't you can't keep up that persona
Right.
and feel good about yourself because you're setting the expectation so high that if your cape's in at the dry cleaners, right, you feel bad.
Yes.
So you really need to remember is just treat yourself well, and that brings me to my next thing, and that's loving yourself. And that's not meaning be a narcissist and treat others to love yourself before them. It's being kind to yourself, being understanding, keep being compassionate, and remember, the world is a hard place, and if you aren't your best ally, nobody is going to be able to help you.
Yeah, when you truly love yourself, it's going to open you up to love others more than you even thought possible.
And one of the big things when you were saying that made me think of being able to laugh at yourself.
Oh,
When you
totally.
do silly stuff, like think of a lottery number. That's
Right. Well, and I was going to, for our younger viewing audience too, I was going to just mention that June Cleaver is a mother that Marty watched when he was a kid on TV, and it was a black and white show. So some of you, that was just the ideal mom back in the 50s.
Well, I think that's a wrap for today.
Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
joining us. Lowering expectations, I think, is a huge topic, and we hope it helps you on your journey, whatever that is.
And in the future, this is just going to be the stay in your lane with Marty.
Exactly. We'll see you guys on our next episode.
Have a good one.